I wanted to look at the final point of the Impact versus Ludicrous game from the 2019 West Plains Sectionals. But before we jump into that, let's look at how we got here. Impact's O-line held on the first point of the game with a classic Reimer to Blick to Ladwig connection. Impact's D-line then proceeds to get 11 breaks in a row. 6 of these breaks were clean holds. Impact turned it back once on 3 points. Twice on 1 point. And 3 times on 1 point. The D-line also gave the disc back on the point that Ludicrous scored. So, on to the last point of the game. According to Impact's Ulti Analytics page, this was the first point of the game for Wildman, Lemon, and Din. This is only the second point for Reimer, Mac, Key, and Angie. We're just going to jump into it with Ludicrous chasing the pole and setting up a zone. They set up in zone a couple times earlier in the game, and with Impact going upwind here, it makes a lot of strategic sense. Wildman fields the pole and swings it to Reimer before getting it right back. Wildman doesn't see anyone crashing through the cup. Both cutters in the area actually clear away from the disc. But he does see that the deep, number 6 here, is really close to the disc. Wildman tries to get a throw over him to Lemon, but the disc turns over a little too quickly. We'll chalk that up to a combination of the wind and number 18 in the cup being in the way. Ludicrous throws it away pretty quickly, and Reimer picks up. The disc is swung to Wildman, who gets it to Tim before the cup is able to set up. Tim has a quick give-and-go motion with Mac before throwing it over Lemon's head. I believe this execution error is caused by Tim changing his body's balance. Instead of following his momentum forward and stepping into a backhand, he instead stops and steps back into a flick. Not only does this flick get caught by the wind in a way that a backhand would not, slowing down allowed number 11 from the cup to catch up and almost get a D on the throw. No matter, because Ludicrous drops it soon after, and Reimer picks it up again. Ludicrous immediately goes to man, and I believe Impact goes into the end zone set, although I'm not entirely sure. Mac catches the throw, continues upfield to Tim, who throws it to Angie. She, unfortunately, isn't able to hold on to it. I do want to mention one thing that I'll cover in more depth a little later on in the point. Tim starts a cut towards the end zone, but instead of clearing out or continuing the cut, he stops in the middle of the cutting lane. This forces Lemon's cut to be a lot sharper than it could have been. His positioning also picks Lemon's defender. It all works out because Mac was already in motion, but if she hadn't been cutting, this play would have clogged the lane. After another Ludicrous turn, Impact sets up right on the goal line in end zone. Angie cuts to the break side, and number 18 gets a foot block on Reimer's around backhand. 18 immediately sprints deep and is frustrated when no one hucks it to him. Understandably, he was a little open. A huck goes a bit too far for the Ludicrous cutter, and Wildman picks up the disc. He swings it to Key, and she looks off Reimer's first cut. He clears to the handler position. Okay, here we go with Tim standing in the lane again. While he is currently open, Key won't throw to a cutter that isn't actively making a cut. By not clearing out, Tim is cutting off Mac's and Lemon's potential cuts. Key swings the disc to Reimer, and Tim, whose defender is doing an absolute banger of a job, is still open. Tim was standing, or walking, in the cutting lane for about 9 seconds, stopping all other cuts from developing. He follows that with a flick short and floaty enough for Lemon's defender, who is all the way over here when the throw went up, to make a play on the disc. Ludicrous strings together a decent amount of throws before Impact gets a lucky drop in the end zone. Impact starts the possession with 2 swings from Wildman to Reimer to Key. Mac continues the motion and gets another throw off to Lemon. Lemon sneaks the disc around the deep defender, and Tim gets the disc back to her with a nice backhand. Unfortunately, Angie and Tim both make cuts to the same place in front of Lemon, forcing her to look back for a reset. Key looks off Reimer, although this throw should probably have gone off. It looks like she was in the middle of an unnecessary fake when she saw him and didn't have enough time to get a real throw off. She swings back to Wildman, who continues the motion to Mac. Impact's O-line holds. So, of the 5 Impact turns on this point, 1.5 were directly impacted by Ludicrous defense, 2.5 were throwaways, and 1 was a drop. I don't necessarily have anything special to close this video with, but I wanted to keep looking at past Impact games and record some analysis. I have one other up on the channel, but I haven't watched it in a while, so I can't speak to its quality. Let me know what you think, either in the comments or in person, and I'll see you next time.